Deputy Mayor Allison Ladd.
Good morning, yes, good morning. Great to see you all, and let's make sure our mayor knows how excited we are to be in Newark. Woo! It's really my honor to be here today. I am here with two very distinguished guests. We have our president of NJIT, Teak Lim. Welcome.
Thank you.
And we also have our chancellor for Rutgers, Newark. So it's really great to be here because I get a chance to moderate this fireside chat between a president and a chancellor. So what I thought I'd do is introduce them in a different way. So I'm sure you all know they're very well established. They've done work and led institutions across the country, as well as done work outside of the country. So here's a few fun facts. So President Lim, his dream was to be a pilot in the Air Force. But he wasn't able to, partly due to his eyesight. But we're really glad that he was able to be an engineer still and be able to come and really run NJIT. Now, our Chancellor Jackson, Chancellor Smith-Jackson. Now, she's also an engineer, and I learned that you are the best pickle picker. So we've got someone who wanted to be a pilot. We have the best pickle picker, but with all seriousness, they have so much more to offer than some of their pasts, but also their presents. So let's just dive right into this. Okay, let's start with you, President Lim. How is NJIT and Rutgers Newark empowering the city's next era of economic expansion?
Thank you, Director Ladd. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you on this stage and also to share with the audience the impact of NJIT. In addition to being a proud Newark anchor institution, NJIT is also the New Jersey's only public polytechnic institution. We're an R1. An R1 institution is a group of highest level of research activity in the US. We conduct about $200 million in research annually, and most of our research are practical and they solve real-world problems in areas like, obviously, AI, water infrastructure, medical research, healthcare, and many, many more. Now, there are three R1 institutions in New Jersey: NJIT, Rutgers, New Brunswick, and Princeton. I know Chancellor Tanya Smith, you have an aspiration to make Rutgers Newark an R1 too, and we welcome that. The reason why R1 is important is because metropolitan areas that house one or more R1 tend to grow faster than those that do not. Okay? The reason is because R1 institution has a vibrant set of research activity. It's also a supply of skilled workforce, and that tends to attract businesses to the metropolitan area. Do you know that roughly, and some of the audience may not know this, roughly a third of the engineers working in New Jersey receive a degree from NJIT? So thank you. In fact, I would say that we're New Jersey's greatest technological talent and knowledge producer. Okay, so that's phenomenal. Our economic impact to New Jersey is also $2.8 billion. And that is collectively NJIT and the activities of its alumni and companies that they created. So we're an economic driver. All of these capabilities and activities that I mentioned will and is power Newark's economic expansion, especially in real estate development, film industry, and also high-tech industry here in Newark. So for NJIT to thrive, okay, Newark must also thrive. And I know both are thriving. You saw from what Mayor was sharing just now. Hence, NJIT and Rutgers, I'm sure, does not want to be just a resident of Newark. We want to be a catalyst of its ascent. We have to be a catalyst of its ascent. Do you know that NJIT, I know Rutgers students and staff does the same thing too. We contribute over 45,000 hours of community service here in Newark. We partner with cities, we partner with many of you here, we partner with also Rutgers Newark. With the city, we have the Tiny House Project, and we have a Parklet project as well. With many businesses here, NJPAC and Prudential is one of our strong partners. Two of also best anchor institutions here in New Jersey.
Don't worry, President Lim. I'm going to give you the mic back.
Thank you.
Let's talk to our Chancellor here. Now, Chancellor Smith-Jackson, you've been here for a little under a year as our Chancellor and Rutgers Newark. So why don't you tell the audience a little more about how Rutgers Newark is empowering our economic future?
And thank you, Allison. Thank you for inviting me here this morning. It's great to be up here with my partner, Tech Lim, President Lim. As NJIT, there's a lot of collaboration that goes on between our universities. I arrived here in August of last year. I came here for a number of reasons. I really wasn't looking to go anywhere else, actually. I was happy where I was. I was at an HBCU, North Carolina A&T State University, where I was provost and executive vice chancellor of the largest HBCU in the nation with almost 16,000 students. So I wasn't looking to go anywhere. It's someone called me about Rutgers Newark and the Chancellor search. And the more I read about Rutgers Newark, I tell you, my heart just blossomed. And I said, this is a place to be. Here's what's interesting about this university. I've been in academia for quite some time. Rutgers University has managed to get to R2 status, and just like Tech was saying, we're moving to R1. These research levels are all about how much money you spend in your community and in your across the country. And that money comes in externally. The more money you spend, however, the higher your rank will be, because you are feeding into the economy locally and the surrounding economy. So the more money we make, the more money Newark makes and the surrounding area. That's why it's so very important. But I came here because after doing quite a bit of research, there are only 28 institutions who can really, truly, by designation, call themselves real anchor institutions who have also achieved R1. Of those, 9 are historically anchor and achieve this high status of R1. That's a real partnership. Being an anchor institution says you're not an ivory tower. You're here to make a difference with your community. Everything that is done with the community. So that's what attracted me to this place. The last 10 years, particularly with the former chancellor, she did a great job of making sure we moved into or strengthened ourselves around the anchor promise. What also is important, though, how do we empower the community? Rutgers University Newark is 74.2% students of color. We look like Newark. We live right here. And actually, 47% of our graduates remain in the state of New Jersey. And right here in Newark, 4,380 alumni from Rutgers University Newark remain here and are contributing to the economy. So the most important aspect about this is that we are constantly contributing to the churning of the economy, moving it forward, and that's why that R1, designation and expanding our research and creative works is so very important. Mayors get it. Our mayor understands it. Mayors all over the state of Texas 25 years ago realize that strong connection between being near an R1 institution and having an economy that thrives. So part of our anchor promise is to make sure we're contributing or continue to contribute to the thriving of this great city.
Thanks, Chancellor. So let's go back to President Lim. So you started talking a little bit about how your university has been, and the institution has been trying to help development and act as a developer in our city. And you've also partnered with our mayor in helping have your students look at tiny houses. But I know you do a whole lot more. So can you tell us a little bit about how your university is acting also as a developer in our great city?
Yes. So one of many roles of a president and chancellor, and I know Chancellor Tanya Smith knows this, is real estate development. Universities, in many ways, are like a small cities. We have people living in it. We have people working there. We have people residing there. In fact, Chancellor Tanya Smith and I are both Newark residents here, and we live on campus. We have people that come to work, and so all of those folks need services. It needs infrastructure, and it needs healthcare. We have a little clinic on campus as well, and also we have many programs, not only for students but faculty and staff, and also community members. So all that, adds into the infrastructure that we built here as part of the Newark ecosystems. One of the best indicator of the progress of a university is construction building. Not too long ago, we put together a new residence hall called Maple Hall. Within the year one, it's fully subscribed. In fact, there's always a wait list. A student actually got one of the medical doctors to write me a letter and say, my patient has a condition that needs to be in Maple Hall. It was that popular. Okay, we are now in the middle of constructing a new residence hall. It's actually a renovation of Oak Hall. It'll add 250 beds to the campus, and those adds more students to campus that would then be your customer as well. So construction is key. In fact, construction is a signature of a progress of an institution. Some presidents around the country tells me this. Even if they don't have construction, they go and rent a crane and put it on campus because their parents think that the university is progressing forward. This thing. So there you go.
Well, that's just wonderful. So, Chancellor, so I know that Rutgers Newark has been leading in a lot of spaces, and you've been doing so much with Climb under Professor David Trout, as well as work with Dr. Kevin Lyons. I mean, we've just seen so much coming out of Rutgers Newark. I'd love to hear your perspective on the work that you're doing and how you're shaping Newark's development community.
All right. Let me just start with what apparently was, 10 or 11 years ago, was a surface lot that was at Washington and New Street. And I've seen the old photos. It was an eyesore, I can tell you. It was an eyesore. But what happened at Rutgers Newark is what we try to do is make sure that as we are partnering with the city, we're making sure that we can bring knowledge into the world. Our students are going to grow and benefit from these types of partnerships. And so what was established with the help of Prudential and other donors was the Honors Living Learning Community. And the Honors Living and Learning Community is a whole different way of thinking about honors. It's not, sort of that elitist old British way of thinking about honors. You have to have a 4.0 GPA or do all these other things. But it's really that we have students who want a college degree, but also want to take their intellect and embed it with social justice. And so they grow and develop and are transformed using a social justice framework. And whether they're majoring in math or political science, they will always have a social justice framework. So we put in, several millions of dollars to develop that property on New Street. It's called 48 New, and it's a mixed-use property. So obviously students are there. There are stores around on that particular property. It's used for living and learning and community engagement. And the students, of course, in that space will go out and conduct their community engagement and social justice work. So that's one example. Over the years, we've put about $360 million into development projects right here in Newark. We are looking for more partnerships. We have a number of surface lots and some other opportunities where we're looking for development, but our motto is to make sure that we share the same principles, that as we're moving forward, we are we're doing inclusive development. I think curated development is great as well, but inclusive development is always about making sure that we include the perspective of the communities around us. So that's a significant operating principle.
So now you've heard it here that NJIT and Rutgers Newark are all about development, inclusive development, and also partnerships. So let's move on to a topic that Mayor Baraka spoke about during his fireside chat. He talked a lot about how students can help become our workforce, and how our education and our leaders here are able to help build our workforce for Newarkers, but also for our corporations that are hiring. So, President Lim, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you're bringing students into the workforce?
Yes, this is where I think NJIT, obviously, and Rutgers Newark too, truly excels. This is our expertise. You know, I often say this, talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. So schools like NJIT and Rutgers Newark were here to provide that opportunity. We're an engine of opportunity for students. At NJIT, you know, roughly 40% of our students come from family of limited means. Roughly about the same percentage are first-time college goer, which means family members of their college have never been to college, okay? And these students, okay, graduate from NJIT with an abundance of options. It results in the change in the future economic trajectory of these students and multi-generation down the road. I see myself as one of them, although I didn't go to NJIT here, but came from limited means family, got an excellent education, and it provided a great living for my kids and my grandkids. Right? So this happened. Now, there's no secret why because of this. NJIT, do you know that is #1 public university in ranking in terms of alumni salary? We're #7 nationwide. So #7 in terms among all public universities for alumni salaries. So we're an engine of socio-economic status. And you know, we are specialized in STEM. Okay, so and we provide pipeline, STEM talent pipeline through the programs that attract and support students from also traditional underrepresented students. Chancellor Tanya Smith spoke about the diversity in Rutgers. NJIT is similar. We're naturally diverse in the sense that our admissions is open. Anyone who qualify academically can get in. If you think about, we talk about the R1 ranking of NJIT. So there's only one institution in the country that has 3 of these in one spot. R1 being a STEM educator, polytechnic, and a school of opportunity. We're Hispanic serving an Asian American institution. There's only one university that has these 3 in one location. So we provide opportunity for many of the underrepresented population in Newark and New Jersey and beyond.
Well, that's just wonderful. Now let's hear from Rutgers. All right, Chancellor, tell us more about what you're doing with our students and how they're feeding into our workforce and doing all things great Newark.
All right, and this is why, of course, NJIT and Rutgers Newark are such great partners. You know, the diversity really does matter. We're ranked at Rutgers Newark 12th in the nation for the most diverse institution in the United States. That says a lot. Over 260-something universities were actually assessed. And so it is important that we're able to make sure that we're supporting our students and providing access and opportunity, but of course graduating workforce-ready institution students because of the academic distinction that we bring to their lives while they're matriculating through Rutgers University Newark. So we've been able to graduate 16,600 workforce-ready Rutgers Raiders in the last 5 years, and that's a wonderful thing. And we're producing them, and most of them, or almost half, are remaining in the state. But I think there's some other things that are important for Rutgers University Newark. And we are, yes, Hispanic serving, minority serving. We're first in New Jersey to get the Seal of Excellencia. We are mostly black and brown at Rutgers University Newark. What's important to understand is that most of our students are Pell eligible. Most are first gen. And we have been recognized by U.S. News and World Report as being 5th in the nation for social mobility. The point is, we bring in these students who come with a grit and a struggle that actually gives them an advantage if they are coming into the right space, a space that's built for them to be successful. And that's what we've done well. That translates ultimately, though, to people coming out of the institution or during with internships and then ready at graduation to serve the surrounding area. They bring a great deal of talent, and we make sure that that is happening at our institution. We're all about cradle to college degree. I know that not everyone wants to get a a college degree, but for those who do, for us, it's building an ecosystem called Rutgers Newark that gets them from cradle to college degree, no matter where they're coming from, because we know that that college degree is essentially the golden ticket in America, and everybody has a right to achieve that American dream.
Well, now, I don't know about you, but I've hired a lot of people from Rutgers and from NJIT, so hopefully all of you are doing the same thing. You can see that there's tremendous amount of power between our president and our chancellor and the amount of work that's being done here in Newark. So I know that we're coming close on time, but I thought I wanted to give you both a chance to do two things. One, tell this beautiful audience how they can work with you to do more great development, inclusive development, and work in Newark. And then second, I'm going to end with your favorite quote, and then we'll let this group go on to the next. Go ahead,
Yes.
President Lim.
People sometimes don't realize this. Newark is actually a college town. In any given day, especially during the academic semester, we have about 50,000 students here in Newark. That includes NJIT, Rutgers Newark, Essex County Community College, Rutgers Biomedical Health Science Center, and beyond. So we have people here, students, faculty, and staff living and also learning and educating here that investors and developers like you need. You need customers, you need residents, you need employees, opportunity for partnership. So, we are part of the ecosystem here. Now, to work with NJIT, we have something called the New Jersey Innovation Institute. That's a storefront to NJIT, access to capabilities and also resources that NJIT can provide. I know President of NJII, New Jersey Innovation Institute, is in the audience here, so look him up if you want to partner with NJIT. I do want to put two pictures, on upcoming summit and symposium at NJIT that I welcome you to come. One, NJIT is exploring a AI Exploration Day on March 26th. This is looking at shaping the future AI technology and society. This is a campus-wide immersion day. We're going to not cancel classes, but we're going to repurpose the class, to immerse students, faculty, staff, and anyone who wants to come to campus to think about AI and how that impact education, work, and society. Second thing, is we have an infrastructure forum. NJIT has phenomenal capability in research, in applied work in infrastructure. That includes water, that also includes civil and transportation. And I welcome industry to participate in this infrastructure forum. We'll have community members here, we'll have legislature, we'll have corporations from all over New Jersey, converge on NJIT as an innovation nexus, place where we gather together on April 22nd. And lastly, my favorite quote, I tell my faculty, those of you who are in academic institution knows this. People always say you publish or you perish, right? This whole notion of tenure system. I tell my faculty, today is collaborate or you perish. That's my favorite quote. So therefore, I'm telling you, either we collaborate or we perish. Let's collaborate.
Well, thanks, President. Let's go on to our Chancellor. So we're going to give our Chancellor the time to have her approach to doing development and work with all of you, as well as your favorite quote, Chancellor.
And that was a powerful quote. It's absolutely true. Collaborate or perish. I do want to point out that Rutgers University Newark, we're trying to strengthen ourselves around the area of having single points of contact or no more than dual points of contact so that you can work with us, and that would absolutely make a difference. We need to have more conversations. That was said this morning by the mayor and a couple of the panelists before the mayor. So I do want to make sure Shantae Palmer and Arcilio Aponte stand up. If you want to work with us, they're right there, That's our think tank, our powerhouse around economic development and external relations. So I hope you will do that. And the last thing, like I said before, curated development, wonderful, because you're putting everything people might need to attract them to a space. I'm a systems engineer. My area is systems engineering, industrial and systems engineering. And the main point is the best designs, the best projects, the best collaborations happen when all minds are at the table, when all perspectives are there. So we're here at Rutgers Newark ready to talk, ready to work with our community, and we have great faculty who are doing excellent work throughout the community who would love to talk to developers and investors and any other partners. And I'll end with my quote. So this quote comes from, I want to hear an American poem. Anybody ever heard of that one? I want to hear an American poem. It's all about inclusion and making sure you see people, you know who they are, and you respect what they will bring to the table. That's a powerful poem written by Mayor Baraka. And that poem goes on, it's eloquent, it's dance, it's movement, it's rhythm, it's history. But in the end, the most powerful part of that poem really is the last two lines. You know, something that represents us. You know, something American. My point here is that we have to understand the various facets of America. And various parts of America don't look the same and don't think the same. You need to know what part you're in, and you need to embrace what part you're in. And that's how development, knowledge making, shared understanding, if you develop it in that way and realize the America we're in called Newark, we can absolutely thrive. So let's make sure we do that. Recognize this America right here where we're standing.
And please continue clapping and thank me along with our panels. Thank you. Our wonderful fireside chat, and enjoy your time in Newark. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, everybody.